Yo, what is going on, everybody? This is RBT and welcome back to another Madden 18 video, and today we're going to see if we can save the Dallas Cowboys season. The Dallas Cowboys just lost to the LA Chargers on Thanksgiving and are now sitting at 5-6. Things are looking bad after the suspension of Zeke. Looks like their offense isn't looking too hot with Zeke missing from the team. So we're going to see if we can somehow, some way save their season and help them reach the playoffs and maybe the Super Bowl by rebuilding the team in week 12. And unfortunately, we can't start it at their 5-6 record because the real life roster thing isn't into week 13 yet, but I think it's close enough at 5-5. And the thing is, we've done this with the Browns and the Giants and I think somebody else, and it was almost impossible to bring that team to the Super Bowl or to the playoffs because the record was already so bad. But I think we do have a chance though with the Cowboys to actually bring them to the playoffs. I think there's a very good chance we could actually win the Super Bowl with the Cowboys in today's video. Now, I do want to apologize that there's no face cam in today's video. I was thinking about just lying to you guys and saying that my face cam just corrupted, but that ain't me. I kind of just look freaking ugly today, so I just wanted, for the first time in a long time, to record a video without face cam, so bet. But regardless, hopefully you guys still do enjoy today's video, and if you do, make sure to drop a like. Let's see if we can smash 2,000 likes on today's video. I'm going to try my best to bring my how-to rebuild video out tomorrow early Saturday morning, so hopefully you guys do enjoy that. Hopefully you're having a great Black Friday. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and turn on the notification bell if you haven't, and also let me know what team you want to see me rebuild next in the comment section below. And last thing I do have to do for today's video is I do have to trade away Ezekiel Elliot and get a different running back because that just makes sense. This trade just makes the most sense because the Dallas Cowboys already have a very good offensive line, but they are lacking at right guard and right tackle. So if we can upgrade right guard and right tackle, this offensive line is already going to be rebuilt for today's video. So of course, the main man, Marshall Yanda, because why not? All it's going to take is maybe a fourth and maybe one of their backup quarterback, Zach Dysert. See if this will be accepted, and it's extremely close. So with that said, let's just throw in some bullcrap like our last string and middle linebacker. No, Jalen's too good. Jalen's way too good. Let's go with our worst cornerback. Nah, Ben's too good. Do we have any 60s? Come on now. There we go, Kevon Frazier. This 100% is going not to be accepted. So with that said, let's throw in maybe a 6th round draft pick and see if this will be accepted. And with that said, Marshall is our starting right guard. So to mix things up big time, since we do need a right tackle, and instead of getting Lane Johnson every single video, we're going to try and get Trent Williams and convert him to right tackle. Now, they really do value him pretty highly, a lot higher than Lane Johnson. And since the main point of this video is trying to rebuild the Cowboys without Ezekiel Elliot, let's just go ahead and trade him away, even though this will probably easily go through straight up. If it doesn't, I'll be surprised. And consider me extremely, extremely surprised. So with that, this video got to a rocky start. But no time to fret. We'll try a 4th round draft pick on top of Ezekiel Elliott for Trent Williams. And wow, that did not go up much at all. So with that, let's try a 3rd round draft pick from next year and a 7th round draft pick from this year. See if this will be accepted. Now that's extremely close. Now let's try one of the lower overall cornerbacks that we do have on the team. Now we can try to throw in Ben, and it was accepted. We have our new right tackle. And also going to mix things up a little bit more. So instead of getting either David Johnson or Ezekiel Elliott out of every video at the running back position, try to mix it up a little bit and try to get Todd Gurley this time around. And try our 3rd string defensive tackle, and now that's about halfway to going through. And they also need a wide receiver, and I'm definitely going to upgrade the wide receiver positions. Let's see if they want either of these two guys, Bryce or Terrence. They don't want any of them, but they probably will want Cole, and I don't mind trading away Cole. Just kidding, they don't want Cole. So let's try, do we have any right guard? Oh, we have Zach Martin and Marshall Yanda. Why did I trade? Why did I get a right guard? Now I'm confused at myself. Well, okay, so we have to convert. I'm stupid. We should have got a left guard, not a right guard. So we'll convert Marshall Yanda to left guard. That's my problem. I'm an idiot. That whole 30 seconds of me trading for Marshall Yanda probably were screaming at me. So I apologize. So what we're going to try now is try a 3rd round draft pick on top of the deal. See if this will be accepted. And wow, it actually was. So for Todd Gurley, all we have to trade away is Malik Collins and a 3rd round draft pick. And since we mixed things up at a couple positions, we have to pair Dez Bryant with one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, Julio Jones, because he's super easy to get. And I already told you guys we mixed things up a little bit without getting Ezekiel Elliott or David Johnson in today's video. And that we didn't get Lane Johnson either, since we kind of stretched out and got Trent Williams when we probably could have got Lane Johnson for half of what we got Trent Williams for, and he's higher overall. But disregarding that, we're going to try to get Julio Jones because this will really help out this rebuild. Now, at right tackle, would they be interested in La'el Collins by chance? They're not. That's actually really unfortunate. So let's go to the left end position How about one of our backups here? They don't want our backups. That's not good, but we're going to persevere. How about a free safety, Byron Jones? We can upgrade this position easily. So Byron Jones for Julio Jones. That's about a little bit less than halfway to going through. So now we can throw in, do we have a fullback that they might like? Keith. Do they like Keith? They don't like Keith. They don't like Keith at all. So with that, let's try throwing in a second-round draft pick for Julio. And also going to try, how about Darren McFadden on top of this deal? See if this will be accepted. That's really close. So how about Alfred instead? I think this might actually be accepted. That's really, really close. So how about a quarterback instead? Come on. Don't do this to me. How about Cooper? You know you want Cooper so much that it went down. So crazy enough, they're actually interested in the 74 overall free safety. So we're going to try to throw in a first-round draft pick instead. And now that's really close. Now I think if we throw in one of the running backs, we'll try Darren McFadden, see if this will be accepted for Julio Jones. And it wasn't. So how about Alfred Morris this time around? And it wasn't. I think it actually went down a little bit. So if we throw in the free safety now, that's higher overall. Maybe this will be accepted. If we throw in Darren McFadden now, I'm really trying to get Julio from not a lot at all. And, wow. Maybe now, I think Alfred should be accepted now. Because, I mean, that's a big difference between a first and second round draft pick. And it was accepted. Julio Jones is coming to Dallas. And since we need a left outside linebacker, what we're going to do is trade Bryce Butler to the Panthers for Thomas Davis and convert Thomas Davis to left outside linebacker. We also have to throw in somebody pretty crappy. Let's try to throw in our worst cornerback on the team. Actually, no, he's too good. So how about our backup left tackle by chance? Anybody that they might want, we don't have a backup left tackle, so that's unfortunate. So instead, let's do the running back thing. Let's throw in Rod Smith. This will, I think, easily be accepted. Let's try to squeeze out like a 6th and a 7th on top of the deal, and it was accepted. So now we're going to try to bring in a brand new strong safety. Adrian Amos, a guy we don't normally get in these rebuilds. So we're going to try Lyle Collins, our backup right tackle, and Terrence Williams, who they kind of are interested in. See if this will be accepted, and that's pretty close to going through. So if we can find maybe the quarterback thing, Cooper Rush potentially, since one of their top needs is quarterback, throw this in there, and that's really close. So maybe the backup running back trick will work with Darren McFadden being sent in this deal. They don't want Darren, but that they didn't want him either. So maybe if we throw in a draft pick, a 4th round draft pick from next year, see if this will be accepted, and unfortunately it wasn't. So what do we do in a situation like this, men? Let's go with the 2nd round draft pick from next year. This would easily go through, I believe. So let's also try to get like a 6th round draft pick and a 7th round draft pick just to be able to have things to trade up. Send this through, wasn't accepted. But if we take out the 7th from this year and add in a 7th from next year, or maybe even a 6th from next year, I think this will be accepted, and it was accepted. So boys, we're about to add a little bit of depth at the cornerback position, bringing in Buddy Calhoun from the Cleveland Browns. And it's not going to take a lot at all. So I think the quarterback thing should be enough to bring him in. Let's try Cooper Rush on top of this deal. Justin Durant for Buddy Calhoun, and easily was accepted. So we're going to try a massive upgrade at the defensive tackle position. We're going to try to get Gerald McCoy from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for Byron Bell, our backup right guard, and Chidobe Awuzie, the rookie cornerback out of Colorado that is currently on the Cowboys. Going to send this through, and that's about 3/4 of the way to going through. Maybe a little bit less than 3/4. Everybody complains at my freaking fractions. So what's the move now? Let's try Darren McFadden added into the deal, and it's getting into the green now, but we might have to throw in our 2nd round draft pick, which I kind of don't want to do, or maybe our 1st from next year. See if this will be accepted, and it was. So for Byron Bell, maybe spent a little bit too much, but I think it's going to be okay. A 1st from next year, Chidobe Awuzie and Byron Bell for Gerald McCoy. So that's actually all it took to bring in Michael Crabtree to the Dallas Cowboys. Charles Tapper, a 3rd round draft pick for the 87 overall veteran wide receiver. So we do get a 1st round draft pick from the Arizona Cardinals for our 3rd string right in. The only team that actually wanted him was the Cardinals, and there was nothing we could really get in return from the Cardinals just for him. So we traded him a 4th round draft pick from next year, and our last string, I think it was our 3rd string strong safety, Frazier, 66 overall for a 1st round draft pick. And guys, I got to thinking, one of our biggest needs is a really good middle linebacker, and I was going to try to not get Luke Kuechly because I normally get him in all these videos, but like, why not? He's super easy to get, and we're trying to make this team as good as possible, and they do want Cole Beasley. I'm willing to trade away Cole Beasley, so I was like, screw it, we're going to try our best to get Luke Kuechly. So let's see what it is going to take. The number one need is free safety. Do they want Xavier Woods? They do. Like, this might go through right here. Maybe we have to add in a crappy draft pick, but we're going to send this through, and it's in the yellow. So now, what do we have we can trade away? A 4th round draft pick from this year. Will this be enough to go through? And it's pretty close. So we don't have anything else except the 2nd. But I think the 2nd would definitely be enough to go through. So we can throw in the 2nd. We'll try to get another draft pick as well out of the deal. Let's try maybe a 5th and a 7th on top of the deal to bring in Luke Kuechly to Dallas. And it was very close to being accepted. So if we take out the 7th, this should be accepted. And it's really close again. So maybe get some draft picks from next year instead. We'll try a 5th and a 6th from next year on top of the deal. And wow. So we're just going to get the 5th instead. And just like that, it was accepted. So, for Cole Beasley, Xavier Woods, and a 2nd round draft pick, we bring in one of the best middle linebackers in the league. So we get another 1st round draft pick for pretty much nothing. Jalen Smith, a 70 overall middle linebacker, a 4th round draft pick, and Taco Charlton. So I think we finally have what it takes, boys. We traded away a lot of stuff. So we're going to also throw in a 3rd round draft pick, and all we have left is the 3rd and both of these 1st now, which after this we'll only have 1 1st left. But I think this should easily be enough to get accepted. So with that said, let's try to squeeze a couple draft picks out of this, a 6th and a 7th, and it was accepted. So for a 1st round draft pick, we actually traded in the later 1st round draft pick, Anthony Brown, and a 3rd round draft pick, we bring in Harrison Smith, and a 6th and a 7th. You know we got to do it to him, boys. Got to bring in one of the best cornerbacks for any type of rebuild out there. And keep in mind, I am keeping cap room on for this rebuild. Going to submit this offer, and just like that, it was accepted. Our biggest position of need, I think, was cornerback, and we got one. So we're actually about to get one of the best defensive ends according to Madden 18, and that's Cameron Jordan. 95 overall, might actually be the highest overall defensive end. Actually, I lied, that's Aaron Donald. But anyways, we're going to bring him in and convert him to right end, which is one of our biggest positions of need. And it's only going to take this backup right outside linebacker and a 1st round draft pick. Plus, we need one other position they kind of need. And that might be Ryan Switzer, and we might have to bring in a 4th wide receiver, but throw this in there. And it's so close to going through. And I think I do actually have a 5th round draft pick I just traded for a second ago. And we have a 6 actually. Maybe I didn't. We'll try this instead. And it was accepted. We got our brand new defensive end. So we do need a solid 4th wide receiver. And why not? We brought in Tyrell the Gazelle Williams, 81 overall. For D. Wilson, 71 overall, left outside linebacker. So unfortunately, the only team that wants Randy Gregory is the Arizona Cardinals, and they only have a 2nd round draft pick because we did already get their 1st. But I think a 2nd should be good enough to be able to add in some type of package deal to get at least a half-decent cornerback, because I think that's all we need, like as of right now, is just a really good 2nd or 3rd cornerback, and we should be set. The last thing I'm going to try to do for this rebuild is to bring in Richard Sherman, but what we currently have I don't think is enough. They do want our outside linebacker, Kyle Wilbur, and all we have on top of that to trade away is Darren McFadden in that 2nd round draft pick. And it gets into the green, but not necessarily close enough for it to go through. So what I'm going to try to do is turn in some type of... No, I actually know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to trade away one of our cornerbacks because we only need 4 good cornerbacks. So I don't think anybody out there is going to be interested in Orlando Scandrick. I'm just kidding. The Texans are. So the Texans actually have some decent cornerbacks we could trade away, but I'm going to try to get their 1st round draft pick instead so we can bring in Richard Sherman. Just kidding. They don't have a 1st round draft pick. So is there any other team in the NFL that wants Orlando Scandrick? The Bengals do. But did we get their 1st round draft pick today? No, we did not. So let's try this, and that's pretty close. And now I think if we throw in Darren McFadden, this should go through. But then again, we're not going to have anything else to trade away. So we're kind of at a crossroads now, but we're going to somehow figure out how to make this happen. So we're throwing Darren McFadden, and we will get the 1st round draft pick, but now it's the 1st round draft pick and the outside linebacker going to be enough to bring in Richard Sherman. Hopefully it's pretty close, because I think with that being the case, we should be set, and I think we are good enough to win the Super Bowl in this rebuild. Now, with that said, the outside linebacker, Kyle Wilbur, and a 1st round draft pick for Richard Sherman. I don't think it's going to... We also have the 2nd still, too. Wow, I forgot about that. So, yeah, we're going to get Richard Sherman. I'm stupid. I apologize for being stupid. This is going to be a lot easier than I thought. I completely forgot we had the 2nd round draft pick. So, let's see if this is close enough right here. And no, but I think the 2nd round draft pick should be enough. And if this is the case, we're going to have a pretty freaking stacked team. And it was accepted. So, Richard Sherman is now a Dallas Cowboy. And with that said, boys, I think this team is good enough to win the Super Bowl. And I think that was pretty quick. Normally these take like an hour and a half, maybe an hour 45 minutes. This only took 45 minutes to complete. And part of it's because they already had a pretty good team, the Cowboys. But I definitely think this team is good enough to make it to the Super Bowl, easily make the playoffs like all these videos haven't done yet. The defense is pretty solid, as well. A really good linebacker core, a bunch of veterans, some good safeties. I tried my best to add in some players in this video that we don't normally get, because I know these do get really repetitive. I know I had to sprinkle in a couple of the players that we normally get, but on the other side, I tried to get some players, like I said, that are new to rebuild. So with that said, boys, we're 5-5, starting off with a loss yesterday. We're going to sim to the playoffs and see if we actually do make it. If we don't, I'm going to be extremely, extremely, extremely disappointed. But I think we are good enough to be able to make it happen. We did with the Giants, and the Giants went 9-7, but just because of a freaking tiebreaker, we didn't do it. That would have been impossible. But we are, I believe, going to make this play. Huh? Are you kidding me? How do we do so? How? We didn't make the playoffs with the team we put together? Are you actually kidding me? What's so bad about... What's actually so... This team is good. This game is so dumb. This game we play called Madden 18, it's the dumbest game I've ever played in my life. We end up doing better with the Giants. We did better with the freaking Giants than we did with the Cowboys record-wise, when the Giants only had one win on the season when we started. The dumbest game ever.